Hello everyone, my name is Zach, and today I want to go over the release of character tracking in PoeStack. Before I get into that, I'm going to give a quick overview of the tool. PoeStack lets you easily track your stash and character histories and export this data in useful formats. As an example, here's one of my profile stash tabs. My net worth over time, searchable, we have all of the items being tracked in here and some breakdowns. You can also easily export these to either the form shop or a bunch of TFT formats. So today we're going to talk about characters though. If we go over to the characters page, we can see here are my characters for the Sanctum League. Let's load one of them up. This is my Aracali's Fang character that I played to level 100 this league. We can see its progression over time has stopped because it's level 100, but I've got all my items and gems here along with my skill tree and some POB stats. Also have a copy to POB code here so we can easily import this. You can see that we have a couple snapshots here. These all are basically going to look the same because I haven't been playing too much, but you can scroll through these and check out the different item changes or skill tree changes below. So if you want to search for other people's builds, it's pretty easy. If you go over to the characters page, you can, for instance, look for people playing Summon Raging Spirits on the Guardian class. Here's a list of people that we have tracked right now, and we could easily check out their profiles and see what they're up to. Cool. So if you've been using or playing PoE for a while, you've probably taken a look at PoeNinja, which has very similar functionality to this. The main difference is that PoeNinja's data comes from the PoE ladder. What this means is that PoE publishes this ladder that shows all the top players based on their level. PoeNinja indexes this and pulls in the data. So the upside of this is that they have easy access to a bunch of characters. The downside is that once the ladder fills up, there's no access to lower level characters. If we go back here and take a look at this search again, we can see that there's characters as low as level 75 or 80 in here. These characters would never show up on PoeNinja because their level is too low and it's too late in the league. So there's been enough people have reached level 100 that the ladder is no longer changing. This isn't really PoeNinja's fault, it's just a limitation of the ladder, but it's solved with our integration with the PoE API. So the idea here is that using this method, we'll actually be able to observe meta changes over the course of a league, despite the fact that it's quite easy to hit level 100 right now, and the ladder caps out within the first few weeks. Let's just take another quick look here at an example of how to use this to actually show time-based changes to a character. So I started this character earlier today. It is level 6, but if we go back to the very first snapshot, we can see this is me on getting my very first Driftwood wand. Got 5 DPS and 57 life, and we can just click next and kind of scroll through it. So we can see that I've now equipped Fireball and Arcane Surge, and then made it to town. Looks like we got some pretty lucky drops from Hillock, and then kept going a little bit, and we can see that I put my first points in. So this is just a really basic example of how you can use this to track a character's progression throughout a league. The goal is that if you have PoE connected at the start of a league or the start of a character, you'll be able to use the snapshots to look back at the entire progression of a character from early game to an end game build. I think this will be really useful for everyone. I've managed to play enough to get listed on PoeNinja a couple times, and it's always been really cool to be able to look back at my character, but I also think it'll be useful for content and build creators to easily show people how they progressed a character over time, and link to specific snapshots that in like a guide to show here's how my character looked on day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and so on, right? As far as other updates since my last video, if we go over to my stash, we've added in image exporting. So for instance, if I want to sell my essences on TFT, we can now just press this copy image button. This will take a second because it needs to generate the image, but then we can pull up Discord, paste this in along with a message, and you can easily sell and generate these just like the TFT bulk selling tool. My other major update is I would like to thank the 2 people who have now contributed to the PoeStack project. Now that it's open source, anyone who wants to can check out the code and and make PRs, and we got those approved. So thanks to these two for contributing. As always, I would love to hear your feedback or ideas. The character part of this is still pretty beta. There's a lot of things that I want to add and a lot of things that could be cleaned up a little bit, but it's ready for its initial release, so I figured it's time to make a video. If you do have feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments. I always read all of them and try to reply to the ones that are asking questions or providing good ideas. And as always, if you want to join the Discord, you can talk directly with me about the project, and I would love to hear it. Thanks everyone for your time and your support. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.